And she opened up about the serious issues that led to her getting that treatment and why she's leaving her hit show. This is just a preview of what's to come. For Disney star Demi Lovato, star of Sunny with a Chance, the show must go on, but this time without her. She just announced that she's leaving her hit tween comedy to focus on her music career. It's something she shared with me when we sat down for her first TV interview since treatment. What's going to be different now?
Well, for starters, I'm about to start working on my third album, and I get to express myself through music, which is what I love doing the most. And that's kind of what I'm doing. I'm taking life day by day.
She's moving on after completing a 3-month stay in a treatment facility where she went to address her eating issues and very private battle with cutting. For Demi, all of this began with childhood bullying. I know that you have talked very openly about how you were treated in school.
Mm-hmm. I literally didn't know why they were being so mean to me. And when I would ask them why, they would just say, well, you're fat. I was bullied because I was fat. And then a few months later, I developed an eating disorder, and that's kind of been what I've been dealing with ever since. I was compulsively overeating when I was 8 years old, so I guess for the past 10 years, I've had a really unhealthy relationship with food.
After years of battling these addictions, a turning point came last fall during Demi's concert tour. She admits to physically striking one of her backup dancers, Alex Welch, known as Shorty.
I take 100% full responsibility. I feel horrible. Shorty was my friend.
Demi's family and management team held an intervention.
They sat me down and said, you can't live like this. And the only way that you're going to get the help that you need is to go inpatient to a treatment center. And that's exactly what I did.
Demi will keep her record contract with Disney's Hollywood Records. In a statement, our parent company, Disney, supported her decision, saying, she is a talented young woman, and our hearts are with her as she continues to take action to improve her health and bounce back from adversity.
Boy, Robin, she's only 18, yet she's dealing with this with such maturity and candor.
I am hard-pressed to remember a time when I've sat down with somebody who was more open. Again, this is just a snippet of what we will discuss, and you'll hear more of that tomorrow, but fully open, taking responsibility, not trying to sell an album, not trying to sell a TV show, really feels that what she has dealt with and what she continues to deal with will help people.
And she's really faced her problems.
Yes, she is, and she's gotten the love and support. So we'll have much more of that with Demi Lovato tomorrow here on GMA, and then the full interview will be Friday on 2020. Interview since heading to treatment and starting over. She also had some shocking things to say about the pressure she was under, like many other former child stars, the toll it took on her, and what got Demi through it all. She's famous for her winning smile and her wholesome charm.
You're one of us. Hi, I'm Sunny.
For the little girl from Dallas, Texas, the desire to perform was homegrown. Her mom, Diana, was an aspiring country singer, a Dallas Cowboys cheerleader. And for her daughter, Demi, it was the classic tween musical, Camp Rock, that catapulted the young talent to stardom. Demi was living a teenager's dream. Movies.
This is going to be the best summer ever.
Her own television show, Gold Records, and dating teen heartthrob Joe Jonas. But away from the spotlight, a hidden shame. Before her rise to fame, Demi spent years secretly battling an eating disorder. She says it all started in early childhood when bullies constantly teased her and called her fat.
I'm a very strong advocate for anti-bullying, but I've never been able to say this is why. I am such an advocate for it because from when I was bullied until now, I've suffered an eating disorder from the things that were said to me.
Did it lead to a form of depression?
Yes, definitely.
Can you explain more about that period of your life?
The period of my life that I went through was really dark, and I became very depressed, and my only way of really coping with it was through my eating disorder. So I just stopped eating, and that was my way of coping with it.
Her depression would eventually lead to urges to cut herself.
I've suffered from cross addictions over the past few years. I was trying to control my eating disorder, trying to get help for it. And when I was taking care of those things, the urges to do that came up. Yeah. So for me, it was okay to do that because I wasn't throwing up anymore.
Last fall, Demi checked into a residential treatment center, Timberline Knolls. What was the darkest point for you?
I can't really pinpoint a darkest point for me because over the past few years I've had so many. I guess my darkest period was going into treatment for that first 48 hours and not having any communication with the outside world, even letting some people know that I was in there. I couldn't talk to anyone, and I was just kind of shocked to be in such a different environment.
It was there she learned a shocking new diagnosis. Demi was bipolar.
I had no idea that I was even bipolar until I went into treatment. I was actually manic a lot of the times that I would take on workloads, and I would say, yes, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this. I was conquering the world, but then I would come crashing down, and I would be more depressed than ever.
During 3 months of inpatient treatment, Demi learned new ways to manage her emotions.
Today I'm learning how to cope with issues and cope with urges and things like that in healthy ways. Like, I've picked up knitting. Who would ever thought that, I knit on a Saturday night, watching TV. I totally do. I'm a knitter.
Lovato says it was the thought of her little sister Madison, the young star of Desperate Housewives, that got her through her darkest days of treatment.
I had to think of her all the time when I was really, really rough, but I just kept thinking, okay, set this example for your little sister. And even though it may be hard to, wake up in the morning, there were days where I just didn't want to get out of bed. And looking at a picture of my little sister on my little bulletin board was one of the main things that kept me going.
For Demi, there is hope for all in what she once battled alone.
If I can prevent one person today from having the wrong friends, from cutting for the first time, to embarking on a horrible long journey with an eating disorder, if I can just change one life by this message, by saying, don't go there, then I'm done.
Boy, there's really a girl you see struggling to figure herself out. Sure. Right there. And it's touching the way that, she got that strength by thinking about her sister.
Yes, her little sister, who's also an actress, and that's what she wanted to do, be an example for her. And her father, Demi's father, was there when I was doing the interview. And when Demi said that about thinking about her little sister, her father got very emotional in hearing about that.
And this revelation about finding out she had this diagnosis of bipolar, that actually, you did this interview before all the Catherine Zeta-Jones stuff was in the news.
Thanks for bringing that up. It was a couple of weeks ago that I sat down with Demi, and then when Catherine Zeta-Jones just recently revealed that she was bipolar, Demi sent her a tweet, and people were wondering, of support. People were like, why is she? Now people know. But this interview was before that diagnosis, and tomorrow night on 2020, we go into further detail on that, and when she started cutting at the age of 11, so much more on 2020 tomorrow at 10, 9 Central.